Welcome everyone to today's deep dive. I'm really excited about this one. We have some fantastic materials on the desk today.
Yeah, we really do.
We're looking at the Victory with Ashmaster Knowledge Base version 1.0, and specifically we're digging into the curriculum for episode 17, which is all about choosing your growth goal.
It's such a crucial topic.
It really is. And our mission today is to help you cut through the absolute, just overwhelming noise of the self-improvement world. We want to help you pinpoint the exact singular next step for your personal growth.
Right, because the noise it's deafening these days, honestly.
Completely. Which brings me to this question, and I really want you to think about this. What if the biggest reason you aren't making progress isn't that you're incapable of changing, but simply that you are trying to change way too many things all at once?
It's a question that honestly stops you in your tracks. Because it goes against almost everything we are conditioned to believe right now.
Right, the whole hustle culture thing.
Exactly. We're constantly bombarded with this message that, we need to optimize our diet, learn a new coding language, launch a side hustle, and meditate for an hour.
All before breakfast, of course.
Right, all before 7 a.m. And if you're listening to this right now, you probably feel that exact pressure. You want better health, you want better finances, more confidence, a better career.
And we want it all right now.
Yes.
Yesterday, even.
Yeah, it's completely human nature. But the central message of today's source material is so clear. You do not need to change everything at once. You just need to choose what matters most right now.
Because to figure out what matters most, we first have to understand why our current ambitions are actually working against us.
Yeah, and that's the trap, right? The trap of thinking everything is a priority.
Because when everything is a priority, absolutely nothing is.
Exactly. Nothing receives enough attention. People start with these sweeping, vague goals. They tell themselves things like, I want to be successful, or I want to improve my life.
Which, those are great intentions.
They are. They're super positive intentions.
Right.
But the curriculum points out that they are completely useless for guiding your daily action.
Right.
Because vague goals just create vague actions. You end up with inconsistent results, and ultimately you just feel overwhelmed.
Which brings us to the Victory framework from the knowledge base.
Yes, the foundation of all this. It's built on 3 pillars, which are rise, reset, and refocus.
And we're really zooming in on that third one today, right? Refocus.
Exactly. Refocus is the process of directing your energy toward what matters most and just ruthlessly eliminating distractions.
Yeah.
Because, as the text says, where attention goes, results follow.
Okay, let's unpack this because I can hear people pushing back on this already.
Oh, for sure.
People might be thinking, but isn't having big, sweeping ambitions a good thing? Like, if I only focus on my career for a month, doesn't that mean I'm neglecting my health or, my family?
That's a super common fear. But the source material is really clear on this. Focusing on one growth goal does not mean you ignore the rest of your life.
You still have to eat and feed your kids, obviously.
Yeah. You still go to the gym, you still pay your bills. What it actually means is that you identify one major growth priority that receives your deliberate, structured attention for improvement.
Like your surplus energy.
Exactly, your surplus energy. It prevents that dreaded decision fatigue. You don't wake up wondering how to reinvent your entire life. You just focus your extra energy on that one specific thing.
So if we agree that we have to focus on just one thing to avoid burnout, how do we systematically choose the right thing?
Well, the knowledge base introduces this brilliant concept called the sunlight principle.
Oh, I loved this part.
Yeah, it's so visual. Think about it. Scattered sunlight might warm an area, right? It feels nice. But if you take that exact same sunlight and focus it through a magnifying glass, you create intense heat.
You create a fire.
Exactly. You create momentum. So to find that focal point, you have to walk yourself through what the curriculum calls the 5 questions.
Which are so practical. Walk us through those.
So question 1, what matters most to me right now?
Right.
Question 2, what is currently holding me back? You have to be really honest with that one.
Painfully honest, yeah.
Yeah. Question 3, what would improve other areas of my life?
Okay, stop there for a second. That third question, to me, this is like finding the ultimate domino.
Oh, I like that, the domino effect.
Yeah, like if I choose discipline as my one growth goal, knocking that domino down automatically knocks down the dominoes for my productivity and my health and my career. It just cascades.
That is a perfect way to look at it. You want the highest leverage goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are the last 2 questions?
So question 4 is, what am I willing to work on consistently? Because it can't just be a flash in the pan.
It has to be realistic for your actual life.
Exactly. And finally, question 5, How will I know I am making progress? You have to have a way to measure it.
Okay, so once you've gone through those questions and you've identified your domino, you still have to engineer the goal properly, right? So it survives contact with reality.
Yes, because a vague goal will not survive a busy Tuesday morning.
Let's use the AI example from the sources, because I think this really highlights the transformation of a goal perfectly.
It's a great example. So say someone starts with a super vague goal like, I want to learn AI.
Which means nothing.
Right, it's way too broad.
Yeah.
So the first step is making it clearer. You might change it to, I want to become better at using AI.
Okay, a little better, but still pretty fuzzy.
Exactly. So we make it specific. I want to learn practical AI tools for productivity.
Now we have a real category.
Right. But it's still not an action. The final step makes it actionable. Listen to this version. For the next 30 days, I will test one AI application each week and document its effect on my workflow.
Wow. Yeah, that is bulletproof. You know exactly what you were doing on any given day.
And you can measure it. But notice what that goal doesn't do. It doesn't promise a specific external outcome. It's focused entirely on your own actions.
And here's where it gets really interesting, because the curriculum brings in this concept of the circle of control to explain that exact point.
Yes, the 3 areas.
Right. Area 1 is your control. That's your effort, your practice, your learning, things you directly manage.
Their daily habits.
Exactly. Then Area 2 is influence, like your team's performance or your relationships. You can nudge them, but you don't control them.
Right, there are other people involved.
And Area 3 is entirely outside your control. Market conditions, the economy, or other people's final decisions.
Which is where most people get tripped up.
Well, yeah, and I want to push back on this a bit, or at least voice a frustration I think a lot of people have. We are constantly judged in life by Area 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Like whether or not we get a promotion or whether a project succeeds financially. But we only actually have real power over Area 1. So how do we reconcile that tension?
It's a really valid frustration.
Yeah.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, strong growth goals deliberately connect those external outcomes with controllable actions.
Okay, say more about that.
So you can't control the promotion itself. The final signature is Area 3. If your goal is just get a promotion, you're setting yourself up for anxiety.
Because it's not up to you.
Right. But you can control Area 1. You can control developing your communication skills, stepping up to take on complex tasks, and preparing for that next level.
You focus on the inputs, basically.
Yes. You build your goal around the actions that make the Area 3 outcome highly probable, rather than just stressing over the outcome itself.
So a well-engineered, controllable goal is essential, but it still needs a structured timeline and, honestly, some emotional fuel to actually get done.
Oh, for sure. You need a system.
The sources share this really great comparative story to illustrate this. There's person A and person B.
Ah, yes. The 2 professionals.
Right. So person A consumes random information for 3 months. They listen to podcasts, read articles, but they have no clear direction.
They're just absorbing everything and nothing.
Exactly. But person B identifies one thing, like communication, they practice, they seek feedback, they measure their progress. And the difference between them isn't intelligence.
No, it's not about being smarter.
It's just clarity and focused action.
Which brings us to the highly practical 30-day framework from the curriculum. It breaks this down so you don't get overwhelmed.
Give us a breakdown.
So week 1 is all about clarity, finding the goal, defining the obstacle. Week 2 is learning, gathering the specific knowledge you need.
Getting the tools ready.
Right. Then week 3 is application. You actually do it. You put it into practice. And week 4 is review. You look at what worked and what didn't.
It's a great structure, but the sources also emphasize that the structure alone isn't enough. You need the why.
The why is everything. A goal without deep meaning just loses energy the second it gets hard.
You have to ask yourself, who benefits from my growth? What future becomes possible?
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? I like to think of it this way. Your why is essentially the battery pack for the next 30 days.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, like if your goal is just to sound impressive at dinner parties, that battery dies in week 2 the minute things get tedious.
It completely drains out.
But if your why is to become a more confident leader for your team or to provide for your family, that battery stays charged through the entire 30 days.
That emotional connection is what pushes you through the friction of week 3, when the initial excitement is totally gone.
Exactly. So to summarize all of this, the core transformation here is amazing, and intention becomes a decision.
Right, which becomes a goal.
And that goal becomes a plan, which turns into an action.
The action becomes a practice.
And finally, that practice becomes a real, tangible capability.
It's a complete chain reaction.
Sure.
And the specific action plan from the text is just to write down the one area you want to improve today.
Just one.
Just one. Write down why it matters, what the obstacle is, the capability you need, and how you'll measure it. And then take one action in the next 24 hours. Because clarity turns intention into direction.
Which is such a powerful thought. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final, slightly provocative thought that builds on everything we've talked about today.
I love these.
If you commit to this 30-day framework and you actually achieve this one focus goal, what if the greatest reward isn't the new skill itself? What if the real prize is the undeniable proof you just gave yourself that you actually have the power to change your own life? What will you choose to focus on first?